Hello everyone, this is Yukie. Today I'll discuss about dot and debuffs. I think that's what everyone would like to know before getting Kafka. Even if you are not planning to pull Kafka, you might also want to get some ideas when using others' Kafka as support. These rules I'll talk about regarding applying dot are not described in-game or on official wiki. They are found by testing the game. If you figure out by yourself already, that's good. Otherwise, let's get started. So what's dot? Dot stands for damage over time. There are two types of dot. One is from character skill. For example, Himiko's burn debuff for her talent, Silver's shock debuff from her skill, and Windshare from Sampo's talent. Maybe we can call them skill dot. The other dot type is break damage after the enemy breaks. Maybe we can call it break dot. So there are two types, skill dot and break dot. Let's see more examples. In the video, I have Sampo use normal attack to enter battle, and the enemy with wind weakness went to break state from the attack. As you can see, it gets a wind shear debuff. That is break dot. Here is an example for skill dot. In this video, after my servo uses her skill, the enemy has two dots. One is break dot it originally has. The other is skill dot we just applied. Now, after understanding the basics, let's talk about the rules for getting dot on the enemies. Of course, you want as much dot as possible, and don't want applying the same dot that doesn't stack. So what is the rule? From testing, it seems there are 5 rules in general when we applying dot. Those general rules we found through playing the game. They are not mentioned anywhere in-game or officially. Rule 1. Different types of dot from the same character are independent of each other. For example, I have the enemy got lightning break dot when I break them using servo. Then servo uses her skill. It then gets a skill dot. Those two dots are listed separately. They are independent from each other. Rule number 2. The same type of dot from different characters are independent from each other. For example, Hook entering battle with her technique. Enemy now has two dots, one break dot and one skill dot, both from Hook. Then Asta uses her skill to give fire burn. The enemy now has 3 fire burns. One is break dot from Hook. The second is skill dot by Hook when she used her technique. The last one is fire burn from Asta's skill. That's Asta's skill dot. So there are a total of 3 fire burns. Hook and Asta's skill dot are independent from each other. Rule number 3. The same type of dot from the same character, the later dot will cover and replace the previous one. For example, the enemy has left 1 round of Hook's break dot burn and 2 rounds of skill dot burn. Hook uses ultimate to apply burn again. The enemy still has 2 burn debuffs, but they are now 2 turns each, instead of 1 and 2, which means the later skill dot has replaced or refreshed the previous skill dot. That is an example for replacing the same type of dot from the same character. Rule 4. The break dot rate of happening is 100%. As long as enemy breaks, it will happen, based on the weakness it is broken upon. However, for skill dot, it does not have to be enemy weakness. It is decided by the basic rate from skill such as 80%, like servo's skill. Character's effect hit rate, which can be increased by equipment or buffs, and the enemy's effect resistance, which can be decreased by debuffs. In this example, the enemy got attacked by servo's skill to apply shock, a skill dot. After the attack, as we check, only 1 out of 3 enemies got shock dot, even though it is enemy weakness, because this skill has 80% chance to give shock debuff and we were unlucky this time. Or maybe the enemy had a high resistance like the elite boss at the center. Rule 5. Dot is not affected by critical rate and critical damage. This is very straightforward as it says. So now we talk about all the rules that apply in dot. In summary, there are 2 types of dots, break dot and skill dot. Break dot is 100% guaranteed to happen when the enemy breaks, based on the element that caused the break. Skill dot has a certain percentage to happen based on the skill itself, the character's effect hit rate, and the enemy's effect resistance. If you want to apply as much dot as possible, you don't need to worry that different characters of the same element will affect each other because their dots are all independent from each other. You can have a mono team, a bicolor team, or a mixed team, that all work. That's all for today's video. I actually divide the video about dot into 2 parts since I want to keep both short and nice. The next video will be about dot and debuffs of different elements. Of course, if you want to know more about the Kafka, you can check out this video here. Thank you for watching, see you next video, 再见。